One day, while delivering supplies to the space station in her spaceship, Lily Beth accidentally bumped into the control panel, causing the ship to wobble and spin out of control. And the more she tried to compensate for the wobble and spin, the more the ship wobbled and spun. Then she saw the space station get hit by a ray of light and destroyed. It looked like a bolt of lightning that seemed to come up from the clouds instead of going down towards the earth like it was supposed to. A bolt of lightning that went in the wrong direction. No, she thought, as the concussion from the blast threw her ship into an ocean of bright lights and chiming sounds. It was all so beautiful as she sailed through this strange photonic sea of color and light. It felt as if time slowed down, and before she could stabilize the ship, she crashed back onto the earth in a heavily wooded area filled with strange and exotic plants and animals. And when she explored the area, she came across the clay people of Manhattan, who were a truly strange and gruesome sight to behold. They looked like people made from clay. It was during her time that she met Kim Song, a woman who would become her best friend and companion while she was marooned here in this strange land, living among the clay people of Manhattan. So hiding in the bushes, she formulated a plan as she watched these strange creatures filling containers with water. Maybe I'll just walk up to them and say hi. Or maybe not, she thought. So she stayed hidden behind some bushes to give it more thought. Lily Beth rubbed her eyes in disbelief. These creatures were just so strange. What are they? She wondered to herself. And then as they walked away, she was surprised by one of them who was suddenly standing behind her. But this creature did not appear aggressive or threatening, so when it motioned to Lily Beth to follow it, Lily Beth did, and it led her to a mud hut, and once inside it removed its helmet, revealing it to be a young woman in a clay people like an astronaut suit. She said, "My name is Kim Song, by the way, and welcome to my home." "Hi," Lily Beth said. "I'm Lily Beth. Nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you, Lily Beth. And could you please tell me what the hell is going on here?" said Lily Beth. "Sure," Kim Song said. "But first we eat." And as the stranger prepared a meal, she talked a lot. I didn't understand half of what she was saying, but I listened. Then she asked a question. "Please tell me why you were at the riverside without wearing your lavablastS suit." "My what? I don't understand. I'm from Earth. And on August 2nd of 2021, I lifted off from the Earth Defense Force's spaceport in Lima, Peru, on a mission to resupply the space station. And as I approached the space station, an electrical charge hit my ship, and I started free-falling. But as my ship tumbled and wobbled, I could see the Earth, and then the next time I saw it, it did not look like the planet I had just left. I wondered if I had been teleported someplace else. Then when I crash landed here, my spaceship hit the ground so hard it split into 3 pieces, and I woke up outside of the ship, maybe 100 yards away from it, sitting in my captain's chair with my helmet damaged. It had a large crack in it. That is how I knew that the atmosphere here was breathable. Then I assessed my situation. I was okay, but my ship was wrecked. I had a crash in a heavily forested area of this strange new world. so the canopy of trees above my head were already covering my ship from the sky above, and I knew that I would not be seen by any spaceship or plane passing overhead that was searching for me. And so I knew I had to find some help, so I just started walking, and you know the rest. Well, Lily Beth, said Kim Song, I don't know how to tell you this, but this is Earth that you are on, just not the Earth you remember. What? Said Lilybeth. I don't understand. It's all so strange. I don't know how you did it, said Kim Song, but if your story is true, then you went up to space in the 21st century, but you came down in the 23rd century. What? This is the 23rd century? Yes, said Kim Song, as she handed Lilybeth a blanket and said, you can sleep over there, motioning to a section of the floor. On the floor? Said Lilybeth. Yeah, how else would you sleep? On a table? Said Kim Song to herself, chuckling at the thought. The wood in the fireplace would burn for hours, so Lilybeth thought about everything that had happened to her since she crash-landed. She had carried her helmet that obstructed her vision for a while before she let it drop. Then, as she walked, she approached a riverside, and there she observed a group of clay people gathered down by the river. So she hid in the brush and waited for them to leave. But one of them must have spotted her, because after the others were gone, and she thought it was safe to do so, she went down to the riverside, and before she could drink from the river, she was surprised by one of these clay people, who turned out to be this woman, Kim Song, who did not seem aggressive at all. So when this clay person signaled with her hand to follow her, Lilybeth did, and she led her here, to this small mud shack, where she took off her clay helmet, revealing that she was a human, a woman about my age, who spoke English, and as she held her clay and nylon mesh helmet in her hand, she said, what are you doing outside without your clay nylon mesh uniform on? You know, if you get hit by a lava blast, there would be nothing I could do to save you, and it's a very painful way to go. A what? A lava what? I didn't understand her. So I told her, are you telling me that you don't know what a lava blast is? No, I don't. So you are not one of those people who have given up and wanted to choose the most painful and agonizing way to go? Given up? No, I just got here. Just stop it and tell me what's going on, or I swear I will send you back out there to fend for yourself. I am Captain Lilybeth of the Earth Defense Forces, Lilybeth screamed. I was on a mission to resupply the space station when I got hit by an electrical charge and somehow got transported to this strange planet. Do you mean that machine I spotted over the ridge? Kim Song said. That was your ship? Yes, that's it, said Lilybeth. Have you been tracking me all that way from my ship? Well, it wasn't that hard to track you, said Kim. And I covered your tracks as best I could, so no one else will be tracking us. Then she gave me this blanket and told me to sleep on the floor. Kim heard Lilybeth mumbling to herself and was tired of it, so she said, go to sleep. In the morning, we've got to take this bucket down to the river and get you caked with some good old-fashioned mud, clay. It's no substitute for a clay nylon mesh suit, but it'll do in a pinch. The lavablasts are worse at night. Then I'll bring you back to your ship, that thing that made me feel queasy when I approached it. And, well, my ship? Are you kidding me? What good would that do? It's broken into 3 pieces. I need to get to a city and figure out what is going on here. I need to get home. Your ship is what's going on here, said Kim Song, because it's pulsing, in and out, it's blinking, in and out of focus. There's something going on with your ship, like nothing I've ever seen before in my life, and I think the hell that we are in, all the suffering we've been through since the before time, I think it's all connected to your ship. You said it made you feel queasy? Asked Lilybeth. So then why would I want to go near it? I was out hunting rabbits, said Kim Song, when I spotted your ship, and as I approached it, I felt a lava blast building up. It's like it's just a feeling. It was like your ship was the source of what has been plaguing our world for 200 years. I thought it was about ready to blow up, but it didn't. I just felt really queasy for a moment. Then I spotted your tracks, and I figured that you were either fearless or crazy, leaving tracks like that around for people to follow. So I pulled the branch behind me as I followed you to obscure your tracks as much as possible. Then I spotted you watching the city folk, and I did what you did. I waited for them to leave. So what is going on here? Asked Lilybeth. And what do you mean about a lava blast? What's a lava blast?